Good morning, cadets. We have learned law of equipartition of energy. According to law of equipartition of energy, the energy is equally distributed to each mode. Equally distributed to each mode. That is equal to half kBT. Accordingly, translational and rotational modes of energy will be contributing half kBT, and vibrational mode of energy will be contributing 2 into half kBT, that is equal to 1 kBT. Since vibrational mode of energy has both kinetic as well as potential energies. Okay, this is what we concluded. Now we are going to learn the applications of this equipartition of energy. Applications of law of equipartition of energy for the calculations of specific heats of gases. Okay, there are two types of specific heats as we have learned earlier in thermodynamics. That is specific heat at constant pressure Cp and specific heat at constant volume Cv. We call them as molar specific heats because we take 1 mole of sample of gas, right? So molar specific heat at constant volume is Cv. Molar specific heat at constant pressure is Cp. First we will learn what is the relation between Cp and Cv. You know that already you might have learned in chemistry, in thermodynamics. Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Let us first derive this and then we will apply law of equipartition of energy for the calculation of specific heats of monoatomic gas, diatomic gas and polyatomic gases. Okay. First let us derive the relation between molar specific heats of gases, that is Cp minus Cv equal to R. How to prove it? So we prove it with the help of first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics. According to first law of thermodynamics, it states heat supplied delta Q is partly used for increasing internal energy and partly it is used for the work P delta V, where P delta V is delta W, that is work, right? First we will define what is molar specific heat at constant volume. Constant volume. It is denoted by Cv. Cv is equal to molar means for 1 mole. So definitely it is delta Q by delta T at constant volume. So suffix V represents volume is being kept constant. So it is defined as amount of heat required to raise temperature of 1 mole of sample of gas by 1 degree Celsius. Amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas by 1 degree Celsius is called as molar specific heat at constant volume. Okay. Now we will make use of this above equation and we will substitute this. When we substitute this using above equation, then we get delta Q by delta T equal to delta U by delta T at constant volume plus P delta V by delta T at constant volume. You can see here only first term remains, second term becomes 0 because when volume is kept constant, change in volume becomes 0. So when change in volume becomes 0, therefore P delta V becomes 0. Here, when volume is kept constant, delta V is 0 since volume is kept constant. Therefore Cv becomes equal to delta Q by delta T. So finally it becomes equal to delta U by delta T. That's all. At constant work. So we call this as equation number 1. Now in the same way we will define molar specific heat. Molar specific heat at constant pressure. It is denoted by Cp. Cp is again, here pressure is being kept constant, so same definition, delta Q by delta T. When pressure is kept constant, so suffix will be P. It means pressure is kept constant. Okay. So amount of heat supplied to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas by 1 degree Celsius at constant pressure is called as molar specific heat at constant pressure, Cp. So again we will substitute the same equation of first law of thermodynamics. So it becomes delta U by delta T at constant pressure plus P delta V by delta T at constant pressure. So here it has two terms. It has got two terms. So first you see delta U by delta T at constant volume, delta U by delta T at constant pressure, both will be same because it represents change in internal energy. As we supply heat, there is a change in internal energy. The change in internal energy, delta U, does not depend on pressure or does not depend on volume. It depends only on the amount of heat supplied. Therefore, we can ignore this suffix V and P. So both these terms are same. Now we will calculate what is P delta V by delta T. So P delta V by delta T at constant pressure we need to calculate. So we will use ideal gas equation. We have ideal gas equation, that is PV equal to mu RT for mu moles of ideal gas. Now for 1 mole of ideal gas, mu becomes equal to 1. For 1 mole of gas, mu becomes equal to 1. So when mu becomes equal to 1, then the equation becomes simple. Then ideal gas equation for 1 mole becomes PV equal to RT. For 1 mole of gas, PV is equal to 1. Now we will get the value of P delta V by delta T. Differentiating this, we get P delta V is equal to R delta T, because we are keeping pressure constant. When we keep pressure constant, then P delta V is equal to R delta T. So that implies P delta V by delta T, take this to the left hand side, P delta V by delta T, thus it becomes P delta V by delta T becomes equal to R. So we can substitute this value in the above equation. We call this equation number 2 and we call this equation 3. Substitute it in above equation 2. We get finally Cp equal to delta Q by delta T, that's all, that's equal to delta U by delta T plus P delta V by delta T is R. And we know whether it is delta U by delta T at constant pressure or delta U by delta T at constant volume, it has the same value because change in internal energy does not depend on pressure or volume. It depends only on amount of heat supply. Therefore, we can ignore this suffix P and V. If we ignore this suffix P and V, we can write delta U by delta T as equal to CV from equation number 1. So, from 1, we have delta U by delta T is equal to CV. So, substitute in this equation. If you substitute this, we get therefore Cp is equal to Cv plus R for 1 mole of gas. Cp is equal to Cv plus R. Therefore, Cp minus Cv must be equal to R. Thus, we can put Cp minus Cv is equal to R. This is the important equation, which is relation between molar specific heats for 1 mole of gas. Molar specific heats for a gas. So, Cp minus Cv is equal to R. So, Cp is always greater than Cv because Cp is equal to Cv plus R. So, we should know this relation before we apply the law of equation of energy for the calculations of molar specific heat at constant volume and molar specific heat at constant pressure. So that we already know the relation that difference in molar specific heats at constant pressure and constant volume is R, where R is the universal gas constant, where R is universal gas constant. R is equal to 8.31 joule per mole per Kelvin. Joule per mole per Kelvin. Okay. Now we will apply law of equipartition of energy for the calculation of molar specific heats. Now we shall calculate the molar specific heats of gases using law of equipartition of energy. Application of law of equipartition of energy for calculation of molar specific heats of gases. First we will calculate the molar specific heats of monoatomic gases. Molar specific heats, especially Cv and Cp of monoatomic gases we will calculate first. Examples of monoatomic gases are like argon, helium, neon, etc. Okay. Now we know that yesterday while discussing we come to know that a monoatomic gas has only 3 degrees of freedom. It undergoes only translation motion. So since it undergoes only translation motion, so a monoatomic gas in space has only 3 translational degrees of freedom. A monoatomic gas, monoatomic molecule of a gas has only 3 degrees of only 3 translational degrees of freedom. So according to law of equipartition of energy, each degree of freedom is contributing half kBT. Therefore, since it is having 3 degrees of freedom, half mvx square plus half mvy square plus half mvz square. So each molecule will be possessing 3/2 kBT. Therefore, internal energy of each molecule, each monoatomic molecule. Is equal to 3 by 2, half kBt plus half kBt plus half kBt. So it becomes 3 by 2 kBt. This is per molecule, right? Now we will apply for 1 mole of gas. Therefore, internal energy of 1 mole of monoatomic gas . 1 mole of monoatomic gas. This should be multiplied by Avogadro number. So I write as U is equal to 3 by 2 kBt into multiplied by Avogadro number Na. So thus it becomes 3 by 2 Na kBt, where kB is Boltzmann constant, Na is Avogadro number. Therefore, we know already from the previous discussion the product of Avogadro number and Boltzmann constant Na kB gives us gas constant R. Therefore, U becomes equal to 3 by 2 RT. So this is important for us. This is for 1 mole of gas. So call this equation 1. Now we will calculate molar specific heat at constant volume. Therefore, molar specific heat at constant volume, CV equal to, by definition, just now we have discussed, CV is equal to delta U by delta T. So delta U by delta T can be also written as du by dt at constant volume. Du by dt at constant volume. So if you differentiate this with respect to temperature, then it becomes d by dt of 3 by 2 RT. Since 3 by 2 R is constant, dt by dt becomes 1. Therefore, finally we get 3 by 2 R. 3 by 2 R. Therefore, we get CV. Thus, CV is equal to 3 by 2 R. Call this equation number 2. That is 1.5 R, where R is the universal gas constant 8.31 joule per mole per Kelvin, right? That's the value for molar specific heat at constant volume. Now we can very easily calculate what is Cp. Cp is equal to Cv plus R. So Cv is already 3 by 2 R. So Cp is equal to Cv plus R becomes 3 by 2 R plus 1 R. 3 by 2 R plus R, so it becomes 5 by 2 R. 5 by 2 R. Now we will calculate molar specific heat at constant pressure. We know Cp is equal to Cv plus R. Already we got from equation number 2 what is Cv. Therefore Cv is equal to, here we have already Cv is equal to therefore Cp is equal to 3 by 2 R plus R. So it becomes 5 by 2 R. That is 2.5 times the universal gas constant. This is how we get the Cp and Cv values for monoatomic gas. Now ratio of specific heats. Ratio of molar specific heats. Ratio of molar specific heats is denoted by gamma, as we have used earlier. Gamma is equal to Cp by Cv. We have Cp 5 by 2 R and we have Cv 3 by 2 R. Just divide them. R cancels, 2 cancels, so you are left with 5 by 3. So this is the Cp by Cv value of a monoatomic gas. So if you calculate this, it comes out to be 1 point. 3 ones are 3, 2 remains. Then it becomes 3 sevens are 3 6 are 3 6 are 18, and again 3 6 are 18. So you can write 1.66 or 1.67. So this can be written as 1.67. This is the gamma value for monoatomic gas. Now in the same way, we can now calculate the molar specific heats of diatomic gases. Diatomic gases. Diatomic gases such as oxygen, nitrogen, etc. First we will consider oxygen at moderate temperatures. Oxygen at moderate temperatures will have only 3 degrees of translation motion and 2 degrees of rotation motion. It will not possess the vibrational mode of energy. So such a molecule is called as rigid rotator. So rigid rotator is the one which at moderate temperatures will possess translational and rotational mode of energies only, which will not have vibrational mode of energy. So such a rotator, such a molecule, diatomic molecule, is called as rigid rotator. Consider a diatomic rigid rotator or rigid oscillator, or it acts as a rigid oscillator. Like oxygen at moderate temperatures. So underline this. We are calculating for rigid rotator, which will have only 3 degrees of the translational, 3 translational degrees of freedom and 2 rotational degrees of freedom. Each molecule has 3 translational and 2 rotational degrees of freedom. Now we are applying the law of equipartition of energy. According to law of equipartition of energy, each degree of freedom is contributing half kBT. So 3 translational degrees of freedom will be contributing 3 by 2 kBT, because 3 into half kBT. 3 into half kBT becomes 3 by 2 kBT. 2 into half kBT becomes 2 into half kBT becomes 1 full kBT. So we are applying now law of equalization of energy. Therefore, according to law of equalization of energy, we will write directly applying law of equipartition of energy. The internal energy of each molecule becomes equal to 3 into half kBT, that is of 3 translational degrees of freedom, plus 2 into half kBT, that is 2 rotational degrees of freedom. So now if you add them, then it becomes 3 by 2 kBT plus kBT, 5 by 2 kBT. So each molecule is having internal energy equal to 5 by 2 kBT. Now we calculate internal energy of 1 mole. Internal energy of 1 mole of such diatomic rigid rotator. U is equal to 5 by 2 kBT. 5 by 2 kBT is that of 1 molecule. Therefore, for 1 mole, it should be multiplied by Avogadro number. So, Avogadro number means 6.023 into 10 raised to 23 molecules. So, if you multiply by 6.023 into 10 raised to 23 molecules, you will get the total internal energy of 1 mole of diatomic gas. Therefore, it becomes 5 by 2 NaKB into T. So NaKB is again gas constant, universal gas constant. So it becomes 5 by 2 RT. Therefore, U is equal to 5 by 2 RT. You can call this equation number 1. So using this equation number 1, we can now very easily calculate molar specific heat. Molar specific heat at a constant volume. So differentiating this with respect to temperature T, we get Cv. Therefore, molar specific heat. Therefore, molar specific heat at constant volume Cv for diatomic gas becomes du by dt. Differentiating this, d by dt of 5 by 2 r, 5 by 2 RT. See, 5 by 2 R is constant. So dt by dt becomes 1. So it becomes 5 by 2 R. that is 2.5 times 8.314 joule per mole per second, joule per mole per Kelvin. That becomes the CV value. That is molar specific heat at constant volume. Now you can call this equation number 2. Similarly, we can calculate what is Cp. So molar specific heat at constant pressure for dielectric rigid rotator is Cp equal to Cv plus R, as we know. Here Cv is equal to 5 by 2 R from equation number 2. Cv is equal to 5 by 2 R from equation number 2. Substituting this, then we get 5 by 2 R plus R. So it becomes 7 by 2 R. Cp is equal to 7 by 2 R. That is, you can say 3.5 times R. 3.5 times R. Now, ratio of molar specific heats. Gamma is equal to Cp by Cv. Cp by Cv. Now it becomes 7 by 2 R divided by 5 by 2 R. So R cancels, 2 cancels. So you are left with 7 by 5. So this is the gamma value, that is ratio of molar specific heats, gamma equal to 7 by 5. This gamma we are applying in the equation of state for adiabatic process. Equation of state for adiabatic thermodynamic process. So there we have discussed what is gamma. This is the gamma value for a diatomic rigid rotator or diatomic molecule or diatomic gas molecules. Okay, 7 by 5. Now we will discuss for non-rigid rotator. For non-rigid rotator is the one like carbon monoxide, as we have discussed earlier. Carbon monoxide is again a diatomic gas. Even at moderate temperatures, in addition to 3 translational and 2 rotational modes of energy, it will also have vibrational mode of energy. So such a gas is said to be non-rigid rotator, which is having translational mode of energy also. Okay. Now consider a molecule which is not a rigid oscillator, like carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a diatomic gas which even at moderate temperatures, it will have 1 vibrational mode of energy in addition to 3 translational and 2 rotational degrees of freedom. So such a oscillator or such a molecule is called as non-rigid oscillator, or it is not a rigid oscillator, non-rigid rotator. Okay. So for such non-rigid oscillator, in addition to 3 translational, 2 rotational, it will have 1 vibrational mode of energy. So applying the law of equipartition of energy. So before applying law of equipartition of energy, first calculate what is the internal energy of each molecule. Internal energy of each molecule is given by 3 into half kVt of translation mode, 2 into half kVt of rotational mode, plus 2 into half kVt. This term is due to vibrational mode. So vibrational mode has both kinetic as well as potential energy. So each term will be contributing half kVt. Therefore it becomes 2 into half kVt. So now if you calculate, this comes out to be 3 plus kVt plus kVt. 3 by 2 kVt plus kVt plus kVt. So it becomes 3 by 2 plus 1. 3 by 2 plus 1 plus 1. So 3 by 2 plus 2. 3 by 2 plus 2 becomes 5 by 2. 5 by 2 plus 1, it becomes 7 by 2. So it becomes 7 by 2 kV. It becomes 7 by 2 kV. This is the internal energy of each molecule. Now applying the law of equipartition of energy for calculating internal energy of 1 mole. Applying this, we got internal energy of 1 molecule. Now internal energy of 1 mole of gas. U is equal to 7 by 2 kBT into Na. So it becomes 7 by 2 Na kBT. 7 by 2 Na kBT. Na kB becomes R, therefore it becomes 7 by 2 RT. 7 by 2 RT. Now, definitely we can write a molar specific heat at constant volume. Molar specific heat at constant volume now becomes, therefore, molar specific heat. Now I can write it here. At constant volume, Cv becomes du by dt. That becomes d by dt of this. So definitely it becomes 7 by 2 R. We call this equation number 1. Thus we can calculate what is molar specific heat at constant pressure. Molar specific heat at constant pressure now becomes Cv plus R, where Cv is now 7 by 2 R. So Cv now becomes 7 by 2 R plus R. So it becomes 9 by 2 R. Thus, ratio of molar specific heats for this is a diatomic, not rigid oscillator. Like carbon monoxide, we get 9 by 2 R. Therefore, molar specific heats gamma becomes equal to 9 by 2 R divided by 7 by 2 R. So 9 by 2 R divided by 7 by 2 R becomes 9 by 7. It is just a ratio. So this is equation number 1. So from equation number we have Cv equal to 7 by 2 R. If we substitute it here, Cv 7 by 2 R plus R, it becomes 9 by 2 R. Therefore, ratio of molar specific heats becomes 9 by 7. If you calculate this 9 by 7, you see 7 ones are 7. You are left with 2. 7 twos are 14. And 6 remains. 7 8 are. So we will be getting 1.28. So this is the molar specific heat for non-rigid oscillator. Non-rigid oscillator. Okay. Now, if it is a polyatomic gas, we have discussed monoatomic gas like helium, neon, argon, etc. Then we have discussed diatomic rigid rotator like oxygen or nitrogen at moderate temperatures, and we calculated molar specific heats, and then we calculated diatomic non-rigid rotator, and we got the values of Cp and Cv and Cp by Cv. Now if it is a polyatomic gas means the gas which is having more than 2 atoms, like water vapor H2O, it is having 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, so it is polyatomic. Carbon dioxide CO2 is also polyatomic. Methane CH4 polyatomic. C2H6 ethane, it is also polyatomic. So what is the relation for polyatomic gases? So in a polyatomic gas, because of its more number of atoms, it will have 3 translational degrees of freedom, 3 rotational degrees of freedom, and F, we don't know that F it will be specifically mentioned. F in general, F vibrational mode of frequency, vibrational mode of frequency or vibrational mode of energy. So for any polyatomic gas, we can get an equation for Cp as well as Cv, as we have done. In the same manner we will be able to get it using law of equipartition of energy. So let us discuss molar specific heats of polyatomic gases like methane, CH4, ammonia, NH3, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and so on. Carbon dioxide, water vapor, and so on. For polyatomic gases, more than 2. Then a polyatomic gas will have 3 translational degrees of freedom. Each polyatomic gas molecule has 3 translational degrees of freedom. Translational degrees of freedom. Remember it. 3 rotational degrees of freedom. 3 rotational degrees of freedom. And number of vibrational mode will be many. That will be F frequency. So F degrees of vibrational mode. F vibrational degrees of freedom. So internal energy of each molecule per molecule of each molecule now becomes 3/2 kBD due to 3 translation mode plus 3/2 kBD due to 3 rotational mode plus F kBD. F kBD due to vibration mode, because each vibration mode is having 2 into half kBD, therefore it becomes F kBD. Therefore, if you take out kBT common, 3/2 plus 3/2 becomes 3 plus F. So it becomes 3 plus F kB into T. 3 plus F kB into T. Therefore, internal energy of one mole of polyatomic gas now I can write very easily. U is equal to 3 plus F kBT into Na, Avogadro number. So it becomes 3 plus F NaKBT. Therefore, Q becomes equal to 3 plus F RT. Therefore, molar specific heat at constant volume. At constant volume, Cv equal to, look at this, du by dt, by definition, du by dt. So that becomes 3 plus F into R. 3 plus F into R. Differentiating this du by dt, 3 plus F into R, dt by dt becomes 1. Similarly, now molar specific heat at constant pressure, Cp is equal to Cv plus R. So thus it becomes 3R plus R plus Fr. So it becomes 3 plus 1, 4R. So I can write directly 4 plus F into R. Because add 1R to this, when you add 1R to this, 3R plus 1R becomes 4R. So taking R common, it becomes 4 plus F into R. So this is the molar specific heat at constant pressure, 4 plus F R. So it depends on number of frequency, number of F modes of vibrational frequency. Now gamma. So gamma can be now very easily written. Therefore, gamma for polyatomic gas becomes 4 plus F R divided by 3 plus F R cancels. So this is the gamma value for polyatomic gas. So this is how we conclude the discussion on calculation of molar specific heats for monoatomic, diatomic non-rigid rotator and polyatomic gases. Okay. So in the next video we will have a numerical problem, and then we will discuss the mean free path. Okay. That is going to be the conclusion of this topic. Thank you. Have a nice day.